It was a cold evening in the city. The lights of the tall buildings shone brightly, but down on the streets life was very different. People hurried by, lost in their own worlds, but some people had no home to go to. One of them was Sana. Sana was a homeless woman. She was young but tired. Her clothes were old and dirty, and her face showed the pain she had felt. She carried a small bag with her few belongings and looked for a place to sleep. The cold wind made her shiver. Every day was hard for Sana. She had no family, no money, and no place to stay. Sometimes she begged for food. Sometimes she slept under bridges or in empty shops. But she never lost hope. Far away in a tall glass building lived a rich man named Aman. He was a millionaire. He had everything money could buy: a big house, fast cars, and the best clothes. But one thing was missing in his life. Aman wanted a child. Aman was alone. He had worked hard all his life but never married. Now he felt something was missing. He wanted to have a child who would be his family and his future. One day, Aman went out in his car to clear his mind. As he drove through the busy streets, he saw Sana sitting on the sidewalk. She looked tired and sad. She was trying to protect herself from the cold with an old blanket. Aman stopped the car and looked at her. He felt something strange in his heart. He saw her struggle and pain. But then, an unusual idea came to his mind. He got out of the car and walked up to Sana. She looked at him, surprised and scared. Most rich people never spoke to homeless people. "Are you hungry?" Aman asked gently. Sana nodded slowly. Aman took out his wallet and gave her some money. Sana's eyes filled with tears. No one had ever been kind to her like this before. Then Aman said something that shocked Sana. "I want you to have my child," he said quietly. Sana looked at him confused. "What?" Aman explained. "I want a child, but I don't want to marry or have a family in the usual way. If you agree, I will pay you well. You can live in a nice place while you are pregnant. I will take care of everything." Sana's heart beat fast. She didn't understand everything, but she knew one thing. This was a chance to change her life. She thought about her hard days and cold nights. She thought about the empty stomach and the lonely nights. Could she trust this man? Was this real, Aman? Waited for her answer. Finally, Sana said, "I will do it." Aman smiled but did not say much. He promised to call her the next day. That night, Sana could not sleep. She thought about what she had agreed to. Was she making a mistake? But she also thought about the money and the safe place. The next morning, Aman sent a driver to pick Sana up. She felt nervous and hopeful. As she got into the shiny car, she looked back at the street where she had lived all her life. She wondered what her future would hold. At Aman's big house, Sana met doctors and nurses. They checked her health and told her how to take care of herself. Sana felt strange in the big house. Everything was so new and different. But she also felt safe. Days passed, and Sana began to think more about the baby inside her. She wanted the child to be healthy and happy, but Aman was always busy. He came to see her sometimes, but never stayed long. He spoke little and looked serious. Sana wondered, why did he want a child like this? Did he really care? She also felt lonely sometimes. She missed the streets, even though they were hard. One day, Sana asked Aman, "Why don't you want a family?" "The normal way? Why do you want the baby like this?" Aman looked at her and said, "It's complicated. I have my reasons." Sana wanted to know more, but Aman did not say anything else. This made Sana more curious and a little scared. What was Aman hiding? What would happen when the baby was born? The days went on, and Sana's belly grew bigger. She was no longer the same woman who sat on the cold street. She was carrying hope inside her. And somewhere deep inside, Sana prayed that this strange story would have a happy ending. The next day, Aman's lawyer came to meet Sana at the big house. Sana was nervous but ready. She wanted to know all the details before moving forward. The lawyer explained the agreement clearly. Sana would live in a comfortable home. She would get regular checkups and care during her pregnancy. A man would pay her a large sum of money for everything. But there was one important rule. Sana could not keep the baby after birth. The child would belong to a man. Sana's heart sank. She had never thought about giving up a child, but she also knew she had little choice. This was her chance for a better life. The lawyer gave her papers to sign. Sana read slowly. The words were difficult, but the meaning was clear. She would have to trust Aman. After signing the papers, Sana felt a mix of fear and hope. What if she could not do this? What if she lost the baby? What if Aman changed his mind? Aman visited her that evening. He looked at Sana quietly. "You are brave," he said. "This will not be easy, but I will support you." Sana nodded but said nothing. Days passed. Sana moved into a beautiful room prepared just for her. It was warm, clean, and safe. She had everything she needed, but she still felt alone. She thought about the streets, the cold nights, and the hunger. Now she had a bed, good food, and doctors. But inside her, she felt an empty space. One afternoon, Sana met Aman's assistant, Rita. Rita was kind and smiled often. She helped Sana with everything and told her stories to cheer her up. Sana slowly began to feel more comfortable. One day, Sana asked Rita, "Why does Aman want a child like this? Why doesn't he have a family?" Rita looked serious. "He has a past. It is not easy, but he wants to start fresh." Sana wanted to know more but didn't push. The weeks went by, and Sana's body began to change. She could feel the baby moving inside her. Sometimes she talked to the child softly. But at night, fear came back. What would happen after birth? Would Aman keep his promise? Sana had no answers. She only hoped. One evening, Aman came to see her. He brought flowers and sat by her side. "Thank you for trusting me," he said softly. Sana looked at him, searching for any sign of kindness. He stood up suddenly. "Rest now. We have a long journey ahead." As Aman left, Sana whispered to herself, "I hope this story ends well." Days turned into weeks. Sana's belly grew bigger, and her thoughts grew heavier. She lived in the big house now, but inside she felt like a prisoner. The rooms were beautiful, but the walls seemed cold. Aman visited sometimes. He was kind but distant. His smile never reached his eyes. Sana wondered what secrets he was hiding. One afternoon, Sana decided to explore the house. It was huge. Many rooms, expensive furniture, and pictures on the walls. She stopped in front of one large painting. It was a picture of a happy family. A man, a woman, and a little child. Sana felt a pang in her heart. Did Aman have a family before? She wondered. Later that day, Sana met Rita again. I want to know about Aman's past, Sana said, quietly. Rita looked away for a moment, then said, Aman lost his wife and child many years ago. It was a big tragedy. Sana's eyes widened. I'm so sorry, she whispered. Rita nodded sadly. That's why he wants a child now. But it's not easy for him to trust anyone. Sana felt a little more understanding. Maybe Aman's heart was broken too. But Sana still had many questions. What would happen after the baby was born? Would Aman really take care of the child? Or would she be left alone again? One night Sana woke up feeling pain. She knew the baby was coming soon. She called for help, and soon doctors arrived. Aman was there too, looking worried. The birth was difficult, but Sana was strong. After many hours, a healthy baby boy was born. Aman looked at the baby with tears in his eyes. Sana felt something strange. Was this really the end or a new beginning? Days passed. Sana cared for the baby, but she felt sad and scared. She didn't know what would happen next. One evening, Aman came to her room. He held the baby and said softly, You did a great job, Sana. I am proud of you. Sana looked at him and asked him, What now? What will happen to my son? Aman paused, then said, I want to give you a choice. Sana's heart jumped. A choice? She didn't expect that. He continued, You can stay here and be part of his life, or you can leave with money and start fresh. Sana felt confused. This was not what she imagined. She looked at her son sleeping peacefully. I want to be with him, she said quietly. Aman smiled, but his eyes were still serious. Then we will find a way. Sana hoped this was the start of something better, but deep inside she knew the road ahead would be hard. After the birth, Sana stayed in the big house with her baby boy. She named him Sami, a name full of hope. Every day Sana cared for Sami with love and patience. Aman kept his promise. He gave Sana a comfortable room, food, and everything she needed. But even with all this, Sana sometimes felt lonely. Sana tried to learn more about Aman. He was a millionaire, with many businesses and many people working for him. But he was a private man. No one knew much about his life. One day, Sana saw Aman talking with some people about a new project. He looked serious and worried. Sana wondered what troubles he had. Sana wanted to help, but she felt small and powerless. Days passed, and Sana and Sami grew closer. Sami smiled and laughed, and Sana's heart filled with joy. But she knew the outside world could be cruel. She worried about Sami's future. One afternoon, Rita came to Sana with good news. Aman wants to meet you and Sammy today, she said. With a smile. Sana was nervous. Why now? What did he want? When Aman came into the room, he looked at Sana and Sammy carefully. I have been thinking, he said. You are a good mother, Sana. I want to give you more than just this house. Sana's eyes widened. What do you mean? Aman smiled softly. I want to help you build a new life. I will make sure you have a job and education for Sami. You will not be alone anymore. Tears filled Sana's eyes. No one had ever spoken to her like this. But Aman's next words surprised her. There is one condition, he said. You must trust me completely. Sana nodded slowly. She didn't know what this meant yet, but she was ready to try. That night, Sana looked at Sami. Sleeping peacefully, she promised herself she would protect him no matter what. But deep inside, Sana knew their journey was just beginning. There were challenges ahead, secrets to uncover, and tough decisions to make. Would Aman keep his promises? Or was there more to his plan than Sana could see? Only time would tell. Days turned into weeks. Sana tried to trust Aman, but questions filled her mind like a storm. She wanted to believe his promises, but something felt strange. One evening, Sana found an old photo hidden in Aman's study. It was a picture of a woman and a little boy, smiling, happy, full of life. Sana stared at the photo, her heart pounding. Who are they? She whispered to herself. The next day, Sana asked Rita quietly, Who is the woman in the photo? Rita's face changed. She looked worried, but then said, That was Aman's wife. She died many years ago. Sana felt sadness for Aman. Losing someone so dear could explain his loneliness. But then Rita added, The boy is their son. He disappeared mysteriously. No one knows where he is. Sana's mind raced. Could this be why Aman wanted a child so badly? That night, Sana watched Aman from afar. He was sitting alone, staring at the same photo. Sana felt a deep pain for him. But she also wondered, was Aman hiding more secrets? Days later, Sana found herself locked out of the nursery. When she asked why, no one gave a clear answer. Aman said quietly, There are things you are not ready to know yet. Sana felt frustrated and confused. Why was he keeping her away from her own child? One afternoon, Sana overheard a phone call. Aman's voice was low and serious. There is a problem. The past is catching up. We must act fast, he said. Sana's heart stopped. What past? What problem? She wanted to confront him but feared the truth. That night, Sana held Sammy close and whispered, I will protect you no matter what. She knew their lives were about to change forever. The days grew darker for Sana and Sammy. Aman seemed worried and the house felt heavy with secrets. One evening, Sana heard strange voices outside her window. She looked and saw two men talking, quietly. They are asking about the baby, Sana whispered to herself, fear rising. Sana wanted to tell Aman, but he was not home. She felt alone and scared. Who were these men? What did they want? The next day, Sana tried to speak to Aman about the men, but he changed the subject quickly. Sana realized he was hiding something big. That night, Sana could not sleep. Sami was restless too. She held him tightly and thought about their future. Suddenly the doorbell rang. Sana opened the door slowly. It was an old woman, her eyes kind but sad. "Please, I need to talk to Aman," she said softly. Sana invited her in. The woman introduced herself. As Sarah, Aman's sister, she had news that could change everything. Sarah told Sana that the missing boy in the photo was Aman's real son. He was taken away by someone jealous and powerful. Aman had searched for him for years, but never found him. Sarah warned Sana that some people wanted to hurt Sami because he was the last hope for Aman's family. Sana's heart raced. She promised to protect Sami at all costs. Aman returned and met Sarah. The three of them talked long into the night. Aman looked at Sana and said, "I'm sorry I kept secrets, but now we must be strong." Sana nodded, ready to face whatever came. But deep down she knew danger was near. After Sarah's visit, everything changed. Aman, Sana, and Sami became a real family. They decided to face the dangers together. Aman called his trusted friends and security team. They promised to protect Sana and Sami no matter what. Sana felt safer, but also nervous. She wondered how long this peace would last. One morning, Sana took Sami to the park. For the first time, she smiled freely. Sami played happily, chasing butterflies and laughing. Aman watched from a distance, his eyes full of hope. Days later, Aman received a message. It was from the missing boy, his real. The message said he was alive and wanted to meet his father. Aman's heart beat fast. He knew this meeting could change everything, but he was also scared. What if the missing son did not want to forgive? Sana held Aman's hand. "Whatever happens, we face it together." The day came. Aman met his son at a quiet place. The two men talked long and deep. Tears were shed and wounds slowly healed. Aman promised to never let his family suffer again. Sana smiled, knowing their future was brighter. She looked at Sami and whispered, "You are our miracle." The family stood, strong, ready for a new beginning.